do today? Today we haven't got too much more to do. We're getting there. So what I'd like to do is start off by making this page here, which was the flap that we cut and folded last week, but we didn't do any more. Hold on, just let me written what Jill's got to say. Oh, nice. Always the way. Yes, I think you're quite right to be wearing pyjamas. So what I want to do tonight is do this, we cut the flap last week, if you remember, but I want to do this acetate page that goes on there, and then this is dead simple. It's just a long, simple pocket. Evening, Sally Ann. And then if we get time, I'd like to do this pull out, which is the bit that goes in our big belly band. So there's this pull out here. It's just got a few sort of like photo spaces on it and a couple of little pockets and things. And if we get time, and it's a big if we get time, we'll do the hinges and put it together. So we will see. So let's get started. If you've got your cutting guide in front of you, the plan, what we're working on is page 3 and page 4, and we're working on the flaps. Now, we cut these and folded these last week. Lorraine, come and do my presents. I bought them all, I just haven't wrapped them. I'm putting it off big time. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Remember that there's one for each side, so you're going to have to do one where the flap is on the left and one where the flap is on the right, okay? But we'll do them both. I'm not going to just leave you in the lurch. Okay, so if you grab your trimmers and you grab some of your base card. Hold on. Oh, God. Oh. Right. See, the nice thing about this book is that because of the way the hinges are, you can fold it any which way and it still makes sense. So I'm going to put that there so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to grab some white card. I'm going to go into a new one. Evening, Diana. Okay, so we're going to cut the acetate pockets. So we're going to have to cut 2. Okay, so I want to cut these at 8 by 10 inches. Yeah, because we're going to do them both, because the reason that we're going to do them both together is because we've got to bear in mind that one's got to go over one side and one's got to go over the other, and it's just easier if we do them both at the same time. And then people don't get confused and stuck. Hi, B. Okay, so we've cut 2 at 8 by 10. And while we're here, we might as well cut our long pocket, which is 11 by 4 inches. I still haven't sorted out my trimmer. Now, for these pockets, you're going to need a couple of sheets of acetate. I'm going to cut mine once I've cut the other bits. The only reason I'm saying that is because I have a tendency to get cat fur all over my acetate. And I'd really rather try and avoid that for as long as possible. Okay? So, grab your scoreboard. Oops. We might as well score this long pocket first. It's dead simple. So it's 11 inches along the top. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 10.5 inches. I don't know what my... Oh yeah. I was just wondering what the cutting guide said, and apparently it's right, which is a miracle. And then on the 4-inch side, we're cutting at 1/2 inch. Now I'm just going to double check, because you know what my measuring's like when I'm doing it quickly. Oh, I'm just going to check that this is the right size before we go any further, because I don't want to be giving you duff info. That's spot on. Okay, and then on these two ones that form our acetate pockets. Hi Rekka. Hi Sally. Hi Grace. Oh, New Zealand. Hello. All we're going to do is 2 score lines on these, and they're going to be intersecting. So on the 8-inch side, I want you to score at 1/2 inch, and on the 10-inch side, I want you to score 1/2 inch. So what you've got here is you've simply got your page, which has got 2 intersecting score lines, okay, and that is it. I'm just going to double check the size. Miraculously also, yes. Oh, hang on. That might have to be, hang on, how big's that? Yeah. Needs to be 10.5 inches, that big one. That pocket. I've measured the wrong bit. Yeah, sorry guys. Your flap's right, your acetate pockets are wrong. So you just quickly have to just cut those again, which are, what did I say? 10.5 by 8. Yeah, 10.5 by 8. I'll change this and then I'll just swap it out with the cutting guide that's in the group. So 10.5 by 8. Okay, right, so yeah, we're just going to score that on the 10.5 inch side at 1/2 inch, and on the 8-inch side at 1/2 inch. And that's exactly the same on both pieces. So on the 8-inch side, 1/2 inch, and on the 10.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. Now hopefully that will fit. We'll soon find out, won't we? That's better. Much better. Right, okay. So let's start with this acetate pocket. Before we fold or cut anything, stuff and all of that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut out this frame here. Okay, so all I've done is I've just cut a chunk out of my piece of cardstock, and I've replaced it with acetate. Okay, so dead easy. Hi Joan. Hi Lynn. So what I'm going to do now is, this is going to be the one that is going to open on the right hand side. So I'm just going to turn that over because I'm going to use a pencil and I don't really want to see it. She says, can't even find a pencil now. I knew I shouldn't have tied it up. So I'm going to measure in. Oh, sorry, will you pass me a pencil? Right, I'm gonna measure in. So what I've got now is I've got my score line on the right hand side. I am going to measure in 2.5 inches. Okay. So I've got my score line here, and that 2.5 inches is from the edge of the paper, but 2 inches from the score line. Okay, and then the same from the bottom, and I will show you this in a bit more closely, so it should make better sense. So this page that I'm working on now, which I told you I can't measure. I did warn you. This is the page that is going to go on the left-hand side of the book, okay? So I've turned it over so that my score lines are to the right, because this is the back of it. And I've just measured 2.5 inches in from each side that's got the score line. So all I'm going to do now is just take that out. So let me just find a, oh God, cutting mat and my ruler. I only do this to upset Mark.
I'm not watching.
That's probably best. And I'm just going to cut out that bit of cardstock, which I can use for a photo mat in due course. Okay. So now I've got a piece that looks like this. So I'm gonna, if Mel's here, she'll like this bit, she always does. I'm gonna just kinky miter my corner so it's not straight across, it's got a bit of an edge to it. And then I'm just going to fold those in like that. I'll just grab my bone folder. I'll just burnish those. Now I'm going to just grab a flap. Now this is the flap that is on the left hand side, okay? And that is going to fit on there exactly.
What size piece is that you're doing?
Which size, which piece?
Is this on the middle size piece? Sally Ann's asked.
Middle size piece, what do you mean? This, we've got a flap, which was what we cut last week, which I have absolutely no idea what size it was. It was 8 by 10. Okay, and we put a 1/2 inch score mark. And then this, which is the base for our acetate pocket, is the one that I told you to cut the wrong size.
8 by 10.5.
8 by 10.5, yeah. Okay. And then I've measured 2.5 inches in from that side and 2.5 inches in from that side. And then I've just folded them, okay? And then that will sit on top of there like that when we come to stick it in with the flap on the left hand side. But before we do that, we need to add in our acetate, okay? That's all right, Sally, not a problem. I must admit mine is, but that's because Mark's doing a mega backup on it. Because apparently, how much did you say? 2 terabytes?
No.
We've got.
I'm backing up about 500 or 600 gig. 1/2 terabyte.
1/2 terabyte. But we've got quite a lot of, all the classes and everything just take up quite a lot of room, to put it mildly. Right, so I'm going to cut out some acetate. And don't take any notice of what size I told you to cut it on the thing, because we're going to need to cut it. What size did I say? 6 by 8.5. Or 6 by 9. That'll do. 6 by 8.5, really. Ish.
Yeah, 6 by 8.
Yeah.
6 by 8.5.
Yeah, although 6 by 9 will do. I'm just going to grab some acetate, which I'll now cover in cat hairs, no doubt. No, but that doesn't stop them. What did I say? 6.5 by 9.
You said 6 by 9, didn't you?
No. I say 6.5 by 9.5. Oh, I can't remember.
6 by 8.5.
No. 6. Yeah, 6 by 8.5.
Or 9.
Or 9, it doesn't really matter. Now, attaching acetate is always a joy, not. And I don't know what thoughts people have got about attaching acetate. I use, You can use that red, you know, that really sticky red tape. Personally, I use some polyester tape that I found to be really good, that I've put somewhere safe. Oh, God. I had it just today because I put something in it. It is here somewhere because it can't have gone. Oh, it's here. I put it there so I wouldn't lose it and probably lost it. So I use like this sort of polyester tape, which is incredibly sticky. Oh, it's got stuck everything to it now. And I'm just going to put that on the inside of that photo mat. What's the thing? The pocket. Just like that. Now, the reason I like this polyester tape is because it's not, what's the word I want? Really staticky when you pull the back off it. So I'm going to pull the back off that, and now I'm going to lay down my acetate so that it fits. This is the fun bit. So that it fits exactly
I think your video's not quite central, you're a bit low.
Yeah, I can't, the trouble is I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to move this over. I think I might do this to one side just so I cut it. Right, now I haven't put that down straight, but I'm not worried actually, because what that means is that I can cut it straight. So if I use put that, oh no, I'm stuck to it. Okay, so what I've done now is I've got my piece of acetate, which needless to say is now covered in cat hairs, and that is stuck now so that that would form, it's the same size as that whole sheet there, like that. Okay, so just to make it nice and quick and easy, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mat the inside of that. So let me just find some paper. I'm going to find one that will do the outside as well. Oh, I hate choosing paper. It's always the most difficult bit.
Michelle says hi.
Hi, Michelle. So I'm laughing at Jill. Decisions. I'm going to go with that one. Right, so I'm going to cut that at 7 by 9.
It's about 6 by 8.5, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 6.5 by 8.5, wasn't it?
No, 6. It's over 6 before.
Yeah, 6. Right, so I'm just making life easy for myself by doing this bit now. So let's just mat that corner. Okay, so my flap's on the left hand side, and what I'm going to do now is just add this pocket on the top. Try and keep it a tiny bit away from that flap. We can always cut it down if it doesn't quite fit. I'm just going to trim that down. Don't think it needs trimming on this side, but I'll just tidy it up. Yeah, there we go. So what I've got here now is my acetate pocket, and I'm going to show you how I've just added that bit on there. So measure that bit, which of course is 7.5 by 10. So I'm going to cut that slightly less, as I always do, 1/8 of an inch. So 7 3/8 by 9 7/8. Let's just see if that goes over the top there, which it should. Yep, that'll fit quite nicely.
Super.
Now, I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to make my cut at the right place. So I'm just going to make myself a little mark, and I'm going to draw the same frame on the back. But the frame itself is going to be 1 7/8 of an inch. So
I'm just marking that all the way around.
yeah. So this is my frame now, but just remember obviously that you're drawing on the back of it. Okay, so I've drawn my frame on the back. I'm going to cut that out, and then when I turn it over, it'll be the right size to go on. Let's just line up those. Okay, now, so when I pop that on there, that should fit quite nicely and give me that bit of border, which it does.
Super.
Miracle. So I'm just going to glue that on while I can. What I have done before now is just cut 2 pieces and just put them, layered them up on one on top of the other, because it's easier, and then just put some flowers in the corner or something. I'm all for making life simple for yourself. Okay. All right, so that's my acetate pocket, and that was dead simple to do. All right. So on this side, what we need to do is add that long pocket. So here I'm just going to kinky miter my corners. On that long pocket that we cut earlier. Let's fold those down. Burnish it. And now I'm going to add the pocket facing outwards, so away from the flap. Okay, right, now where does this go? Let me find the right bit, because I've got bits of book everywhere at the moment. Right, that's my front cover. So on your front cover, if you turn it over, this is the bit with the fancy slanted pockets. If you turn it over, you've got this bit, which I haven't matted this yet. But do you remember we put the extra flap down here? This is going to fit there. Okay, so I'm just gonna, can you smell burning?
Nope. Nope.
I smell like a fire, you know, like a log fire.
Someone's got a log fire.
I don't know.
But no,
And I'm just going to put this here, centered top to bottom. Just remember that it is a different, you know, height. It's not the same length as that page. So now you can finish decorating. Now on my other one, which I'll make this again so that we've got the other side as well. Where is it? Because I did do quite a lot of decorating up. Right, so this is the other one is going on the back of our belly band page. So I did decorate this side up. I also spilt coffee all over it, but that's a whole other story. But as you notice, I didn't put anything on here because we're going to have to put that flap down that side. So that's what we're going to do next. So that's all ready to go. I can decorate that up now, the whole thing. But we'll go over and we'll do the other side. Oh, I've got cat hairs all over this. I don't know how they do it. Right, okay. So we've got our other flap. And we've got our page that we're going to make the acetate pocket out of. Now, this one will need to go with the flap on the right hand side, because we've got our belly band, hang on, we've got our belly band here. If we turn it over, you'll see.
Was that on the back of the front page?
No, the first one was.
Yeah.
The one that I've just done, that's the back of my front page. Yep. Okay. The other one is on the back of the belly band page. So I've got my belly band here. And then I have actually got round to decorating those bits. But this page, this flap is going to go to the right hand side. Okay, not the left. So it's the opposite way round. So if I work now, knowing that my flap's to the right, it'll make life a lot easier. So we've got this page that we're going to make into our acetate pocket. But now my intersecting score lines intersect at the bottom right hand side. So if I turn that over and draw on it, I can now cut out where I want the flap for my acetate. So once again, I'm going to measure in 2.5 inches for my frame. And I'm measuring this on the back so that it doesn't show. And I'm going to cut that piece out. Okay, so now that intersecting score line is at the bottom right hand side. I'm just going to kinky mitre that. Turn that over and I'm going to add in my piece of acetate. So I'm going to get my double-sided super sticky tape.
Polyester.
Yeah, polyester. Oh, I put that too far over. I might cut this one a bit bigger and trim it because that was easier. I don't know how I did it before. I've done this loads of times. I don't remember it being that difficult. Right. I'm just going to get my full piece of acetate this time, because my acetate's A4, and I'm just going to lay it on top and then cut it out because it's just easier. Might be a bit more wasteful, but I'm cool with that because life's too hard at the best of times. So let's line that up. Okay, how much easier was that? Quite a bit. So now I've got my acetate pocket there. Let's fold those over. Burnish. Okay, so let's choose some paper. This is always the hardest bit. Yeah. I'm going to cut my backing piece 6.5 by 9-ish. Okay, so I've got my flap on the right hand side. And my backing piece this time I'm putting top left. So up here. Like that. And my pocket is going bottom right. I might have to trim this down again because I don't like putting it up really close to where the fold is, because it just doesn't sit right when you fold your book up, in my opinion. So I'm just going to trim that down. I don't think that really needs trimming, but I'm nearly there. No, that didn't trim any off, that was already right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this piece that goes on here, which, as I recall, I cut at 7 3/8 by 9 7/8. Can you remember that? Because I can't.
9 7/8.
9 7/8 height, wasn't it? 9 7/8 height. By what did I say?
7 3/8.
Right, let's just check that fits on there. No, that's not right. Oh, it is right. I've just cut it wrong. 7 3/8
by 9 7/8.
How have I managed to cut that wrong? I've cut it at 7 1/4 because I'm an idiot. 7 1/8. Cut yours at 7 3/8. Do what I said, not what I did. And then we're going to cut the frame at 1 9/8, aren't we? 1 7/8 even.
Yeah.
We're cutting the frame at 1 7/8.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so that is going to fit on there, and I'll bodge that bit in a minute. Yeah. that fits now. Yeah. Yep, you won't even notice. There you go. See? Can't even tell. Right, so once I've got rid of the cat hairs, on the back we need to put our second long pocket. Did I cut 2 long pockets out? Did I just cut 1?
You should have done 2.
I should have done 2, but did I? Maybe I didn't. Oh well, I'll cut that out now. What was the size?
Of the
long pocket.
The 11 before.
Yeah, that would be the one.
It's 11 before.
Thank you, dear.
Karen says you only cut 1.
Well, I don't know what I was thinking. Oops, because you need 2. Not very clever.
Luckily, I cut 2.
You're on the ball, you are.
Well, I'm going to sleepy now.
Oh well, it's that big T.
Yeah, a big tea.
Right.
Right, you've caught up with yourself.
I have caught up with myself now. I'm just going to mitre those corners. And I'm going to glue this on the back. So there's my front, here's my back. On the back, the flaps to the left. And I'm going to glue this with the opening pointing away from the flap. Okay, so this is going on this side of the flap like that. And then this is going to glue. So I'm going to put some glue on the flap there. And I'm going to attach that on the back of the belly band page, centered top to bottom, like that. So now what I can do is I can finish decorating this. I can decorate up that centerpiece there, and then the pocket. Okay. Right, what time is it?
It's 8:15.
Okay, well, I don't think we're going to put our hinges in today. I think we'll do that next week when we do our inserts, but we can make our little insert book, I think, that goes underneath our belly band, because it's much easier if you guys can just base mat all of these as well before we come to put it together. So I've now lost my cutting guide. So this is the insert. What we're going to need is your trimmer and your base paper. Let me find my insert. That's this one here. Okay, so this is what we're going to make. All right, this little insert here. So it folds out like that. And we've got these two flappy pockets here. And it's just like a little accordion book that just opens like that. Okay, and we'll make that, and then you can decorate that up ready for next week. Okay, so it is hot. It's very hot.
That's a reserve fire.
I told you it was warm. Okay, right, so I want you to cut one, and we only are cutting one of each this time. One at 7.5 by 10 inches. Then one at 7 by 10 inches. One at 6.5 by 10 inches. We might as well do all the cutting for this and then come back to it. And then one at 7 by 4. Okay. One at 3 by 11.
Oh, are we on the next page?
Yeah, we're on the next page now. One at 3 by 11. And two at 7 by 5. What's my tummy rumbling?
It wants chocolate.
Does it? I don't know.
It wants sausage.
Well, it might do. Right, so that's 2 at 7 by 5 and then 2 at 4 by 6. Okay. Right. So clear yourself a bit of space. Because now we're going to get our scoreboards out. We might as well go backwards because these are on the top, so you know. Right, those last two that we cut out that are 4 by 6, I want you to score on the 6-inch side at 1/2 inch and at 5.5 inches. Scoot it round 90 degrees and score on the 4-inch side at 1/2 inch. So this is a simple pocket. Okay, so we've got the 3 intersecting score lines and it's the same on both. So on the 6-inch side, score at 1/2 inch and score at 5.5 inches. And then on the 4-inch side, score at 1/2 inch. Okay, dead simple. The two that are 7 by 5, on the 7-inch side, you're just scoring at 1/2 inch. So there's just one score line on that. I'm just going to just double check this for size. Yes, miraculously that's right. So on the 7 by 5 inch, 1/2 inch on the 7-inch side. Now we've got this really long thin bit, okay, which is 3 by 11. If you score on the 3-inch side at 1/2 inch, this is going to be another simple pocket. Turn it round 90 degrees, so we're now scoring on the 11-inch side at 1/2 inch and at 10.5 inches. So you've got those 3 intersecting score lines. It's a dead simple pocket. Then we have got the piece that is 7x4. And I want you to score on the 7-inch side at 1/2 inch and at 6.5 inches. Scoot it round, so you're now scoring on the 4-inch side and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. It's another simple pocket. Okay, now these last 3 that we've got left. These big pieces, 6.5 by 10. Score on the 6.5 side at 1/2 inch. 1 score line, that's all that has. The one that is 7 by 10, you're not scoring on that at all. And then the one that is 7.5 by 10, you're scoring on the 7-inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay? So I'm going to fold on that score line and I'm going to burnish it. Well, I would do if I could find my bone folder. Okay. Now this, I am pretty certain, is our back page. So it's going to sit like that. The bit that we didn't score is going to fit there underneath. We're going to attach it, glue it there, and it'll fit on top. So we might as well do this as we go. So I'm going to put some glue on the inside of that flap. And I've got this piece that has no score lines on it. And I'm just going to line it up. Make sure it's straight. And I'm going to fold that over. So what I've got now is a book, basically. A very, very simple book. Okay? Now, this piece with the 1 score line, which is narrower, if you just burnish that, that flap is going to attach to the inside of that one, like that. So what we'll have is a book that opens up like this, kind of like a Z shape, I suppose, or Z if you're American. On the 7x5, Sully Ann. Oh yes, Mark's told you. Oh good. Oh good. Thank you, dear.
I'm there.
You are, aren't you? So I'm just going to pop some glue on the inside of that, and I'm going to slip that on the inside of that page like that. She says. And glue that down.
I'm exhausted after all.
Oh no, that was a lot.
I thought you said it was an easy night for it.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I don't know what I was thinking. You should know if there's measuring involved in me, it's never going to be easy.
No, we should have to do it twice now.
Yeah, I know. So what I've got now is I've got my book, my insert, that's going to open the wrong way round for a book, unless you're Chinese. I think the Chinese open up, or is it the Russians that open up the books the other way round? Somebody opens up the book the other way round. So it's going to open like that, and then if we close that, it's going to open like that. So it's an accordion, okay? You can see that if I stand it up. All right? You okay with that? So that's the base of that little insert done. This bit at the back, that is what is going to slip into our belly band, okay? Oh, is it? Oh, right. Oh, actually, I think you're right, Terry. Yes, I think Jewish books do open up that way too. Right, okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make this little pocket that fits here on the front. And that's this piece, which is... Oh. My hair's falling out.
It's cat hair.
No, that wasn't cat hair. That was definitely mine.
Or is it grey?
No, it was bright red. 7x4, and we've scored it on 3 sides. So I'm just going to kinky mitre. fold that into a pocket. Burnish that down. Oh, my picture's frozen. And then this pocket is going to be on the very, very front of our little insert, right down at the bottom of that front page. So I'm going to just stick a little bit of glue onto the back flaps of that pocket. And I'm going to attach this to the very bottom. I'll do it this way so you can see it a bit easier. To the very bottom of that page. Okay, so I've got my pocket here on the front. Right, so we've done that. Now what I need to do is make this long thin pocket that goes on the other side. Okay, so that's that very long thin bit that we cut. So I'm going to open that page up. Here's my long thin pocket, a bit more kinky mitering, just to keep Mel happy.
I always thought diamonds were interesting.
Well, that's a question for Mel. But coal keeps you warm, doesn't it, Mel?
Well, diamonds do, don't they?
True, true. So we've got this long thin pocket that's going to attach here. Okay, like that. So we've got our front bit that's got that little pocket there. We're going to open that up and we're going to pop that long pocket there with the opening pointing out towards the right hand side. So we've just made that pocket, open up this bit, and what we're making here is this pocket, okay, that opens up that way. We're talking about coal, Mel.
And that's why she says, oh dear.
Oh, I see.
So I'll give her a hug.
Aw. Mel's only getting coal from Santa this Christmas. I can't remember why, can you? There was a reason.
Historical reasons.
Oh no, I can't remember. Right, so I'm going to add that little pocket in there. Right, now on this page here, what we've got to do is just attach these flaps here, these little photo mats and pockets. The rest of it I've left flat, which is very deliberate, so that this will easily slip into that belly band. Because if we start putting flips and flaps and pockets on there, it's just going to be a nuisance. It's not going to slip in easily, okay? So that's going to slip in like that, and that is why I've left it flat, okay? So all we need to do now is just make these flaps and pockets. I'm going to put that to one side for a second. So the actual flat bits, these are the ones that I think they were 7 by 5. Were they 7 by 5? So we're just going to fold those. We've just got the one score line.
Yep,
we're just going to fold those and just burnish on that flap. That flap is where we're going to attach it to our book. So the two pieces that we've got left are these two simple pockets that we made. So miter the corners again. Fold those over. And burnish those. Right, so now these just have to attach to those ones that we made flaps. So I'm attaching these pockets to the top with the flap on the left hand side. Okay? So I'm going to put some glue onto the back of that pocket, and I'm putting it so that it points, the opening points to the right hand side of that base, that flap, okay? And it's exactly the same on both. So on flap to the left, I hope you notice I'm getting all my lefts and rights the right way round tonight.
Yeah, that's only because you got it written on your left and your right.
I haven't.
Off camera.
No, I haven't. It's because I'm on the ball tonight with that, at least. Can't get everything wrong. And I'm just going to add that onto the other one as well. Okay. So, here's my insert. Flap on the front. Oh.
Go on.
Pocket on the front. Pocket on the back. And then we've got this bit here. So what we should have on the left hand side is a fold. And we're going to attach these two pockets there like that. And these should fit exactly. That sounded cat-like. Which one is it?
Storm's moved you out.
Oh dear. Right, so let's just get that in. That should fit exactly. Ish. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Once again, I've got my pocket on the front, opening it to the right. I've got that big pocket opening that way, and I've got my two flaps there with the pockets. Now you can go off and you can decorate that up, and then when it's all decorated you'll be able to put it into your belly band page, which is, for me, that one that's got that on the back. So this week, if you want to go off and do all of your, finish off your mat decorating, get your books all ready to go. And then next week what we'll do is we'll talk about photo mats, and we will make the hinges and put the books together just in time for Christmas. Okay. All right. I hope that was relatively helpful. If you get stuck, just give me a shout. And we will see you guys back here next Friday. The slim pocket was 11 by... I can't even remember now. The slim pocket was 11 by 3. 11 by 3, Sally Ann. Okay. So I'll see you back here next Friday. Everything all decorated up, just base decorating. And then we'll go over, we'll do our hinges, and we'll go over the inserts and everything else. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
Oh.
Bye.